This video is for educational purposes and is completely neutral. Take a look at this video. The T-80 tank returns from a combat mission and is on its way back. After a couple of seconds from the drone strike, the tank should be torn to shreds, and the tower should fly off 100 meters, as for example in this video. But in this case, absolutely nothing happened to the tank. After the drone hits the most vulnerable spot, it picks up maximum speed and leaves. Some will say that the T-80 has long been a museum piece, but they were produced in large numbers, which is why they are still fighting. In this video, we look at two unique cases. In both cases, the T-80 will be attacked by drones. In the second video, a whole flock of drones will attack the tank, and many ask why they don't put a mobile electronic warfare system on the tank. And in the second video, it will be there. By the way, I recently did a video about a robotic platform and how that mobile electronic warfare system operates on it and provides protection from drones. The link will appear in the right corner. So let's get started. In the first video, the old T-80 goes on the attack, and as always, the eternal question, why is he alone? Although, as we saw from the latest videos, the quantity has absolutely no meaning. Drones are literally capable of destroying absolutely any amount of equipment, but the fact remains that the T-80 travels alone. He drives up to enemy positions and opens fire. Apparently, there's some kind of equipment standing here. Unfortunately, you can't make it out, but the tank is firing here. Shell after shell, it hits this exact spot. After it's worked on the target, it turns around and drives back. And an FPV drone crashes into it. Usually after such a thing in Soviet tanks, the turret flies up 100 meters. But in this case, absolutely nothing happened to the tank. It picks up maximum speed and drives off. After he gets to a safe position, he begins to turn around. And here you can see what kind of damage the drone left behind. The drone operator knew exactly where to hit, and essentially hit it there without missing. This is where the carousel with ammunition is located. And as you can see in this location, there is no dynamic defense, and the cumulative jet definitely went into the tank. There's absolutely no doubt about that, and the carousel was 100% hit. But any other important nodes in this place are not, therefore the tank did not stall and was able to leave. What do you think happened? By what miracle was the tank able to escape? Perhaps he simply did not have any ammunition. The carousel was empty. Before the attack, the tank took on board only a few shells, which it successfully fired at the positions, and when it went back it was already empty, but it's still impossible to say for sure. I fully admit that he did have shells. In any case, the story is amazing. Miracles sometimes happen. Don't forget to share your opinions in the comments. Let's move on to the second video. The hero of the second story is also T-80 tank rides in the forest belt. For camouflage, he launched a smokescreen, which suggests that perhaps he was already retreating to their positions. And then the first drone comes at him. By some miracle, it didn't hit the tank. The charge explodes on the starboard side on the ground. And here he is also lucky, the tracks remain intact, and the tank continues to move. And now the second drone flies towards him. It would seem that he is heading straight to the tank, and the strike is inevitable. Look what happens, the drone misses, and the tankers continue to move. The third drone appears and hits the turret area, namely the grill, which had dynamic protection. This is not typical behavior for an FPV drone, as they usually fly under the grill on the side of the turret, but here it flies right into the grill. The smokescreen continues to work. The tank tries to get to a safe zone, and then the fourth drone arrives, but it explodes far behind the tank. This lucky T-80 continues to move. It drives confidently. Apparently, he came this way and is not at all afraid of anti-tank mines. And attention, the fifth drone. This one exploded very far from the tank. What was going on here? Quite obviously, this is the work of electronic warfare, due to which the drones simply lost contact with the operator on approach. What about the third drone? It hit the tank. As I already said, it hit the grid, and this is not typical for an FPV drone. Usually he aims carefully. If there is no opportunity to attack, he makes a second circle and looks for weak points. Here he simply continued to fly along the original trajectory and, already out of control, ended up in the grid. But if you still have your own version, then of course I'm waiting for it in the comments. But the fact remains that the vehicle remained intact. The tankers will have to change their pants. But it's okay. But they're alive. These two incidents happened with these two tanks. Sometimes thoughtful preparation and sometimes just luck saves lives. Thanks for watching. See you all again.